Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go.
Hello my darlings, it's Dion Dean. Welcome back to another video. So this past weekend, can you see my shirt? Can you see my shirt? Can you see my shirt? Yes, we were at the Maxwell Joe Escape concert this past weekend, and yeah, I was the way I left the hotel and the way that I came back to the hotel was flawless. So today we're going to be working on sweat proof, humidity proof, shake your behind at the concert proof makeup, because a lot of us are going out for the holidays and we're meeting with friends and we want to, you know, get out there and do our thing, but we want our face to stay flawless. So let's get into this look. So I just want to let you know two things. My nail broke and I can't get in until later on this week, so don't judge me. You know that is irking me. And then our puppy is asleep on the bed like he, you know, worked a full overnight shift, so you may hear him snoring in the background. Anyway, let's get into eyes. The first thing that you want to think about is, not even think about, the goal is to create a barrier between your skin and all of the elements, the sweat, the grease, and all of that stuff that just happens throughout the night. So the first thing we're going to do is eyebrows. And so what I actually like to do, where's my powder, is I actually like to kind of put like a light veil of powder over all of my face. Oh, I tell a lie. The first thing I want to do is prime. This is the e.l.f. primer, but I don't prime like up in my eyebrows, but let's go ahead and prime the face. So I use the e.l.f. primer, and I don't go like into the eye, but kind of like over the eye. I'll definitely get in here, a little bit up there, but I don't do the eyebrow area because to me it's a little greasy, but to each their own. So there we have that done. So let's do that first. So let's get back to the eyes. So I like to put, this is my Gucci powder. You do not have to use Gucci powder, but just use a powder and just lightly kind of dust the face. Or I stipple it in. Some people dust, some people stipple. I stipple it in. Just a light coating. All right, so that's done. So I'm gonna go ahead and use my Anastasia. I used to, well, I used the dip brow, but I've run out and I have not. Can you believe I have not been to Sephora, guys? I'm trying to be good because I'm going on a lengthy vacation next month, but, and you're like, just go in there and buy a dip brow. I can't go to Sephora and just buy, no, that's not even an option. And I could just go ahead and get it on Amazon, but I want to go to Sephora, so that's the whole thing. So you guys have seen me do my eyebrows. I start at the bottom, create a line, then kind of midway across the top, there's the eyebrow. Yeah, I want to go to Sephora, so I'm kind of like fighting myself, but I need the dip brow. The dip brow for me is the best when we're talking about humidity proof. Anastasia products, by far, at least for me, are the only ones that can really tackle the South Florida heat and humidity. So I'm just gonna give a little bit more brow because I feel like there's some missing up here. How do we look? Does that look okay? All right, it doesn't have to be perfect because I'm gonna show you the next step as far as like sealing in my brows so they don't rub off. The concert was so good, guys. This is actually the second time this year that me and my girlfriend have seen Maxwell. I went for Joe, she went for Maxwell, okay? Let's be honest, I love it, Maxwell, but Lord, when Joe opens his mouth, Jesus, it sings to me. Obsessed. We had such a good time, but you know, we're dancing and the DJ's going in between sets, and you know, you want to look good. You want to look good for the gram, right? All right, so let's brush that in a little bit. All right, so they're cousins. They're not sisters today. They're cousins, but we'll work that out. So the humidity step is to actually take a powder. This is the Baked Browns. I'll leave a link to it. I got this off of Amazon. This is a not dossier. Dose of Colors. I'll say dossier. Dose of Colors product, and they just do. I've shown you this palette before. This you can see it's been well used. I use this one and the Sassy Siennas every week, especially when I want to do just like a matte. And this one has a brown in it as well, and so yeah, I've been using those. When you just want a matte brown mauvey eye, I use that. But that being said, I'm gonna take this brush, my shadow brush. I actually have two. This one is an Anastasia. This one is from Anastasia, and this one is from Amazon. So I use both of them. I'm gonna use the thinner one instead of this thicker one, because the brow's already on there. What I want to do is just go over that area that has pencil in it, and I just want to kind of brush over that with the powder. That's what I do. And it just keeps it, for me at least, it keeps it in. I'm not changing the shape. I'm literally just going over that area with the powder. And so if I know I have a long day or a shoot day where I'm gonna be in the sun, and I really should put on SPF, but this is just for this video, I'll go ahead and just go over what I already did with that pencil. Easy peasy. All right, so that's it for the brows. Let's get into the shadow. Okay, so I do this every time I do shadow because a pet peeve for me when it comes to makeup is like the creasing at the end of the day. I just don't do that. I don't like it. But what I like to do when I know that it's going to be a really sweaty day is I actually use I want to say it's just a concealer stick. And this one is by Marc Jacobs. I use a stick rather than the liquid. I don't know if it's just psychosomatic where I feel like it's staying on longer, but I feel like it stays on longer. And so that also goes with just concealer in general. But as it relates to the eyes, I like to use a concealer stick. Whereas in other videos, you may have seen me use, not Urban Decay, whichever liquid, I have so many concealers. But this one, the stick concealer is what I like to use. And so I'm just patting it in lightly, very light touch. And so you can use a primer, a shadow primer. Some like to use shadow primers. I like to use the concealer. But here's another trick that I'm going to show you. Let me just pat this on in. And I think I've done this in another video with you guys unknowingly, not explaining why I go ahead and do this. So what I will do, so that's patted in. What I will do for the, where's my brush? Here it is. What I will do, again, and maybe this is why I use them so much, I will go into the Baked Browns or the Sassy Siennas, and I will find the color that's close, or probably mix these two. And I'll put a link to the brushes because I realize I'm using brushes that you may not have. I'm gonna mix these two and I'm gonna pat it over my, I'm gonna pat it on my lid. And again, this just acts as a barrier. Now, this is the thing. If you're just gonna do like a basic, smoky, situation, then you don't have to do this step because this is gonna be the base of your shadow. But I wore something shimmery and shiny and smoked it out. So yeah, you're just putting like a light dusting, very light dusting. Okay, so now we get into the shadow. The shadow that I actually used, because I told you guys last week, and I'll leave that video up here. This is my travel, the NARD, what is this one? The Extreme Effects. I travel with this, I told you. So I actually wore that for the concert, and that's what I smoked it out. But today, for what I'm doing, I'm actually going to go into my Huda Beauty, Rose Gold Palette Remastered, and I'm going to go into this kind of greenish brownish color. And so I'm just going to dip my finger into it, and I'm going to just get in there And I did not take out the liner. I should have taken that out. And you guys, you know my trick. I use the excess and I just smoke out the bottom lash. All right, then we're gonna do the other eye. And I'm just patting it down, because remember, I already have the quote-unquote base, right? I already have that base down, so I don't need to really. I'm just gonna smoke that out. So I use a liner, and of course, because, you know, with humidity, I don't believe the humidity affects the eyeball. So I don't need to show you that process, but I am going to just give it a little bit of, because I didn't put on a transition shade. So you can always fix that. All right. Not the best process. I should have done this first, but I really just want to go in and show you how this stays on. All right, so I'm gonna put on the liner and my mascara, and then we'll come in and talk about how we keep that face so matte and so pretty. Okay, so we already have primer on the face. We already have concealer, and I've already done this, but I'm gonna do it again. And again, this could be psychosomatic. It might not be doing anything for my face, but I feel good about it. So I go back in before I do my foundation, and I pat in some more powder on top of the primer. I know, you're like, what are you doing? I don't know, but it works for me. So I just pat in another little light dusting. I'm gonna leave a link to this wig, because as I'm looking at the wig, I'm like, I know you guys are gonna ask me about this wig. I'm gonna leave a link in the description box. So I wore my NARS, because again, that's what I travel with, but I'm gonna go ahead and use, and why am I not using my Tom Ford? My Tom Ford tends to give me more of like a luminous finish, and I'm going to put on like a luminous, I'm gonna add the luminosity afterwards, so I don't use that one. I use my matte, my flat, well, I call it my flat NARS. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and use my Chanel, which is like my go-to. I need to go ahead and get my Armani. I'm trying to stay out of the stores. So I'm gonna go ahead and stipple this in. Now notice I'm not like rubbing it in, I'm stippling it in. I'm not dragging it. I want it to sit right on top of everything that I've layered and caked my face with. So I'm gonna stipple it in. Let's do the other side. Just stipple that on in. And I'm actually going to go, oh God, I'm drilling, over my lips. Because this is gonna act as a, I don't want to say concealer for the lips. What do you makeup artists call it? It's gonna help to keep my lipstick on. I'm gonna say that. A primer, as you will, for my lips. Okay? All right, so the face is done. Don't talk about me. You know what's coming next. I'm putting on some more powder. And I am just patting it on. I'm not dragging it on. I'm just patting it on. And I promise you, at the end of the night, I do not look cakey. I do not look, it just looks like my skin. And if you saw me on Instagram throughout the night this weekend, because I try to take you guys with me. I hope you guys saw the footage. My makeup was, she did not shift, darling. All right, so that's on. And so what I'm gonna do, remember when I said that I add the luminosity? So this is the NARS palette that I introduced you on my last makeup video. It is the Overlust palette. And this is where I add the glow. You guys can see there's some glow in there, specifically in here and down there. And so what I do, I just go all over it. And I pat that on. I'm adding the glow. That's what I call it. I'm adding the glow. See right in there. Oh, yes, 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 yes. I love this. 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 All right. So I am going to put on, I actually did wear this weekend, my, not nymph, Taj Mahal. Taj Mahal is the NARS blush that was created for the Naomi Campbell. And then, so here's the thing. I struggled with wearing red. I'm gonna wear red today, but what I like to do is I actually like to keep it nude. And so I cannot find my pencil. I was looking for it for you guys today, but I typically wear the jumbo pencil, the one that I did in the NARS. Actually, hold please. I'm gonna tell you exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna change it up because no, I don't wanna wear red today. I wanna give you similar to what I did this past weekend. Hold on. Okay, so the meet and greet was a masked event. Yes, we did meet and greet Maxwell, darling. The photos are coming. And we ended up actually not having to wear masks, but we went there masked. And so I didn't wear red because, and NARS is really good in that it doesn't bleed. It's just, I was scared that it was going to bleed, and I was not going to be at the concert with Joe singing to me with like red going all over the place. So I kept it neutral. So I have the pencil, like I said, that I used in the last video, but I'm gonna go ahead and use the liquid lipstick. This is Kylie. Every time I wear this, you guys love it. Posy K. Something that's kind of close to my lip color, just very neutral. And remember, I have foundation on my lip, right? So I'm gonna put this on, okay? Okay, so I put the NARS version of this on, let that dry. So what I did, because when we went there, again, we were masked. Or when we were going there, I wasn't masked. So I decided that I wanted to put on a little gloss for the gram. But when the gloss wears off, this is what I'm gonna look like. And I'm still pretty and cute, right? And so I put this on over it. And then when this wore off, this was what it looked like. So I'm gonna do it for the video. Now, if you're someone, let me quantify this now. If you're someone that does like to wear gloss, and you're not masked up, the glosses that I recommend that keep their gloss, Chanel is by far my favorite gloss. You put that thing on in the morning and you will see it at lunch. You just do a little application at lunch and it'll see you through to the end of the day. So Chanel is #1, Marc Jacobs is #2. I'm gonna say that Tom Ford is probably a close #3 in that it keeps its luster all day long. So this is, let me put my wig down, child, and move. This is my sweat-proof, humidity-proof look. Again, you guys, and I did not glue, I'm not gluing this down. I'm not gluing it down. This is my sweat-proof, humidity-proof look, and I probably should do like a check-in at the end of the day. I would do that for next time. It would not be today. Or maybe I'll do that for today. Let's see what I look like in a couple hours. I'll do that. So I was gonna end the video, but I want you guys to see what I look like without doing any application. Because I like when I see beauty bloggers do that. I'm gonna be a beauty blogger today. All right, see you in a few hours. Hello, my darlings. Okay, so it is 12:08. And so I just finished filming a reel. This is what, 5 hours later. Went outside, took some pictures for Posh. And so there's a little bit of glisten, a little bit of shine, but it really just looks like glow. I have not patted my face. I have not done anything. I did have an apple and some seltzer water, and so the gloss is kind of wearing off, but I still feel like I look put together and the makeup is still fresh. And let's look at the eyes. Do I still have brows? I do. You can see the shine in the brow, and so that's gonna happen because oil is gonna break through. But as far as like your face just being washed out and washed off, I still look like I have a full face. And so this is what I will look like literally until the end of the day. And this is dealing with doing things and outside in the sun, taking pictures and doing the reel and changing clothes. So, thank you guys for watching. This is my sweaty makeup, my not sweaty, my humidity proof makeup routine. And so yeah, I just wanted to share it with you guys. So let me know if you want to see this kind of content where I just do my makeup and then check in with you. I love seeing those things because when you're spending this amount of money on Chanel and Gucci and NARS and everything else, you want stuff that's, for me at least, is going to last through the Florida humidity, because that's what I live in. So yeah, let me go pick up baby girl now. Well, no, I have like an hour and a half. I'll probably film another reel, list some more stuff on Posh. That's really what I need to do. I need to stop playing myself, acting like I'm not going on vacation next month. All right, love you guys so much, and I will leave a link to the products that I use below. Love you guys so much. Mwah. Bye.
I never ran, said no, man, I still go, go, go.